mode.
Hello, chapter presidents and teacher advisors. My name is Elizabeth Ventura. I'm the school year program administrator for JSA, and today I'm going to be walking you through the convention registration process. To start, you're going to log into your MyJSA account. All chapter presidents, teacher advisors, and students should have an account on the system, and this will allow you to start your convention registration. When you log in, this should be your home page. You're going to go to My Events. Listed, you'll see previous events that the chapters attended, and to the right, you'll see all available conventions coming up that you can register for. So this time of year, the only thing that we have to register for is 2016 Fall State. So we're going to select that from the drop-down and start the registration process. Please note, only chapter presidents and teacher advisors may register for the convention, and so they'll only have access to this My Events and this registration tab in MyJSA. So once you've got your event started, you're going to select a student delegation leader. The student delegation leader is generally the chapter president, but if the chapter president is unable to attend the event, it can be the chapter vice president or another chapter officer, or just another student who's willing to kind of take on the responsibilities of leading the chapter during the convention. All students are listed alphabetically by last name, so you can go through, select your delegation leader and your primary attending teacher advisor or chaperone. Once you've got those two things filled in, you can click Save and Next, and this will take you to step 2. Please read through the terms and conditions. It will explain that once registration has been submitted and the registration deadline has passed, that your registration for the event cannot be canceled, and there can't be any reduction in the number of students that have been selected to attend. So if you've registered 20 students, you've submitted the registration, the deadline is passed, then 20 students are what are going to be the head counts are going to be held to. So no reduction in the head counts. Please make sure that you've got permission from the school administration to attend and that you have all of your teacher advisors and chaperones lined up and ready to go before you submit the registration itself. You can substitute delegates and you can add on delegates once the registration has been submitted, but again, you cannot reduce the number of students that you've submitted that will be attending. So once you've read through and understand the terms and conditions, you can select I accept the terms and conditions, and this will take you to step 3 in the process. So step 3 is selecting the delegates that will be attending the event. So this is the chapter roster. It should list all of the students that are in your chapter. They might not all be coming to the event, but it will list anybody who's got a MyJSA account and has indicated that they go to this high school. If you need an explanation of the prices or the deadlines, the registration deadlines, dates, and locations, you can click that link at the top. You can also, if you're going through your roster and you don't see a student or some students listed, it most likely means this link will take you to your chapter roster. If you don't see somebody, it's most likely that student doesn't have a MyJSA account, and he or she will need to create one prior to being registered for the event. So every student that's coming to the convention will need a MyJSA account. If they do have a MyJSA account and they're not showing up, it might be that they don't have a high school or the correct high school selected, so they can log into their MyJSA account, go to My Personal Data, and change the high school, and that will allow them to show up on your roster. If you've got students that graduated or are no longer members, you can click their name here and then go to the top and mark them as graduated, and that will remove them from your roster. You'll see that we have some students listed here as tax-paid members and some as non-members. So students hand in their taxes for the 2016-2017 school year. You can select their name and declare them as a member. That will change their member status to tax-paid member and allow you as a chapter president and teacher advisor to track who has paid taxes for this year and who has not. If you've got students listed, the same student listed 2 or 3 or 4 times, it's likely that they have more than one MyJSA account. You can just select one of those accounts to register them for the convention, and you can contact your program director to consolidate those accounts into one, so it kind of keeps your roster a little bit more organized. So again, that's just kind of some of the troubleshooting with your roster and if you don't see a student or students listed. So we'll go back to our registration and we'll start adding students that are coming to the convention. So you're going to get, in most cases, 2 options for students, Student Package 1 and Student Package 2. Student Package 1, especially for Fall State, is going to be the students, the chapter is going to arrive on Saturday, stay Saturday night at the hotel, and depart on Sunday when the convention ends. Student Package 2 will indicate that the chapter plans to come a day early, generally that Friday before the convention begins. So you can go through and select students that are attending. And you're also going to want to select teacher advisors and chaperones who will be part of the delegation at this time as well. So teacher package 1 is a free shared room. So either 2 teachers from your school that are going to share a room, or 2 teachers of the same gender from different schools that will share a room with double beds. Teacher package 2 is a private teacher advisor room, and teacher package 3 is a private teacher advisor room for an additional night. So again, chapters coming in on Friday, that teacher wants a private room for both of those nights, that would be teacher package 3. Again, you do want to make sure that you're registering all the teacher advisors and students who are attending. So we're just going to go through. You'll note that all of the members, all of the delegates are listed in alphabetical order by last name. So once you've gone through and selected everybody, you're going to come and save delegates. You can always save delegates if you're going through the registration process, you're collecting forms, you're collecting payment. You can kind of fill this out as you go and save the delegates each time, and then once you're finished, move on to the next step, or you can do it all at once, whichever is easiest for you in your chapter. But once you, again, have indicated which students and teachers are coming, you're going to want to save the delegates before you move on to step 4, which is assigning students and delegates to rooms. So once we get to step 4, it will indicate our total number of delegates. We have 8 delegates, and 8 of them have not been assigned a room, so we're going to do that in step 4. So to start that process, we're going to click Add a Room, and you're going to get 3 options: a student room, a teacher advisor shared, and a teacher advisor private. So if we select students and we select the gender of the students in that room, select delegates, it will give us all of the options that we have for a student male room, a student shared room. So we're going to select Michael and Derek. And you're also going to want to select your check-in and check-out date. Again, this just helps to communicate, yes, we're coming in on Saturday and we're checking out on Sunday, so that there's no confusion in terms of when the chapter plans to arrive. So we've got that room all set. We can add another student room after that. So student, this time we're going to select room gender as female, select delegates, and it will give us all of the female students that we selected during the previous step. Again, you're going to want to have this kind of organized before you finalize the registration. The rooming list is part of it, so you got to select the students and then complete this as step 4 before you submit your finalized registration. So just make sure you've gotten all the rooms assigned before the deadline and before you get ready to complete this process. So we're going to add a teacher room next. So I think we've got 1 teacher in a shared room, and we should only have 1 option. I only selected 1 teacher for a shared room, Miss Bennett, and she's coming in on the 19th and checking out on the 20th. And if I click Save Rooms now, I've got my 2 student rooms and I've got my 1 teacher advisor shared room. So at the top, it'll tell me, oh, I still have 1 delegate that's unassigned. Oh, okay, so that means I need to add another room and finish finalizing, making sure that everybody that I have registered in step 3 is assigned to a room in step 4. So I've got a teacher advisor private, and I've only got 1 option for that. And I'm gonna save rooms. And then once I've done that, I should have 0 unassigned delegates. So that means I've assigned all my students and all of my teacher advisors for my delegation. In the special requirements, you can put a note here. It will kind of come over to the program director as something that might be required in that room. So if you need a room that's wheelchair accessible, if you want to make a note that a student will be coming late or leaving early, this is the place to do it in the special requirements box. Anything you kind of need to specify that's not included in the names and the room type, you can put in this special requirements box, and then the program director will get that note and be able to submit that to the hotel when the rooming list is submitted. So I've saved all my rooms, I've roomed all my delegates. You want to make sure that your delegates are roomed 4 to a room. And if you don't have, so in this case, we didn't have 4 male and 4 female students, so we just had 3 and 3, so that's how we roomed them. If you've got 6 male students, that's 1 room of 4 and 1 room of 2. That's kind of how the rooming breaks down, but we want to make sure that we're filling up our student rooms 4 to a room. So once you've got all that complete, you can click Submit Registration, and this will be all of the steps that need to be completed at this time. Once you push Submit, the chapter president or the delegation leader that was indicated in step 1 and the teacher advisor will get an email saying, thank you for submitting your registration. We've gotten everything on our end, and here are the next steps. You want to double check. You want to send in your payment and your parental permission forms, and it'll give you the addresses on where to do that. Once you get this email, within 24 to 48 hours, your program director will follow up with you just to confirm all the registration details. Thanks, Elijah and Mr. Gam, for submitting your registration. I have that you're bringing 8 delegates, 1 teacher advisor in a shared room, 1 teacher advisor in a private room. Is all of that correct? We just want to make sure that all of the details, that we're all on the same page with how many students, making sure that we've got the student packages right, that we've got the teacher advisor shared rooms, the teacher advisor private rooms. Do you need a bus driver room? Kind of all of those details are all indicated and correct. Once you verify that yes, that is correct, you will get a invoice from your program director so that you can complete the payment process. And that's it. If you want to make a change after you've submitted your registration, you'll just need to contact your program director. Once you've pushed submit, you can go in and view your registration, but you can't make any changes to it. So if you've got a substitution that needs to be made, or you've got more students that want to add on later, or you've got a change in a chaperone name, you just need to contact your own program director, and he or she will be able to make those changes for you. But again, once you push submit, you can no longer go into your My Events page and make those changes. And that's it. That will conclude the registration process. Again, you can find all of the dates, locations, pricing, and deadlines at jsa.org. On the side here, fall state pricing and package details will give you all the info that you need to get registered for our upcoming fall state conventions. I hope this has been helpful, and if you have any questions or concerns, please contact me or your program director so we can help. Thanks.